What's going on, guys? Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here with another movie recommendation for you for the film Hunting Matthew Nichols. 2 decades after her brother mysteriously disappeared on Vancouver Island, a documentary filmmaker sets out to solve his missing persons case. When a disturbing piece of evidence is revealed, she comes to believe he might still be alive. Alright, with that down, here's what I liked about this movie. As you can tell by the trailer, this is clearly a mockumentary slash found footage film. And for my fellow found footage fanatics out there like myself, we know that we can be pretty picky about our found footage. But by my calculation, this film pretty much checks all the found footage boxes. It has realistic performances and relationships. It has realistic shots and vantage points, which for me are probably the 2 most important things for a found footage film. But it even has some throwback standard definition grainy 90s footage, which is a bonus. And while this is technically a mockumentary, there's a ton of found footage elements to the film, so these found footage boxes that I'm talking about, it's important that they're being checked. Another thing I liked is that this film is genuinely creepy at times. Not as much in the first 2 acts of the film, but definitely in the 3rd act. But that brings me to the thing that I enjoyed most about this film, which is actually best said by the critic Jonathan DeHaan from Nightmare on Film Street, and he said that this film isn't a slow burn, it's a slow build, working toward a show-stopping finale. And that right there in a nutshell is what I really appreciated about this film. Like I mentioned, the first 2 acts, they're not as scary. They're ominous, they're a little bit eerie and mysterious at times, and that's okay because these first 2 acts are clearly the investigation. We're getting to know our characters and the history, the background of the story in the first act. In the 2nd act, there's some twists, some turns throughout the investigation, and from the 1st act to the 2nd act, the film steadily increases in tension and seriousness, continually rising until we see on the screen the words Black Bear Forest. And that right there is the start of the 3rd act, and the music starts ramping up, and I gotta tell you, I started to get pumped up in the theater. But none of this works if the finale doesn't have payoff, and I assure you that it does. One last thing that I want to point out that illustrates the slow build nature of this film is the scene where the disturbing piece of evidence mentioned in the synopsis is being watched by the filmmakers, and I absolutely loved that they don't show us what's on the screen. They just let us hear what's happening on screen, and we're watching the filmmakers' reaction. And that was so smart because that way we just got a taste of what was on screen. We got confirmation that it was bad based on their reaction, but it's still mysterious, such that when we do get more of the revelation of what was on that tape toward the end of the film, it hits so much better and it makes for such a better payoff. When I saw that scene, I could tell I was in good hands with this director and the writer, that they knew they needed to take us step by step and slowly build toward this finale. And I thought that they did it pretty damn expertly. This film definitely has elements of Strange Harvest, Horror in the High Desert, and The Blair Witch Project. And if all that sounds interesting to you, then I definitely recommend that you add Hunting Matthew Nichols to your watch list and give it a shot. But those are just my thoughts, take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you heard of this film? Have you seen it yet? Are there any other mockumentaries or found footage films that you'd compare this to, or that you particularly enjoy? Let me know down in the comments section. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video, but you want more information about what's on my watch list, what I'm currently watching, the kind of ratings I'm giving these films, as well as upcoming releases I'm looking forward to, don't forget to follow me on track.tv. My username is TIOLI_reviews. The link is in the description box. Go ahead and click it and start following me on Tracked, and I look forward to seeing you over there. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button, and until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey man, get off my case.
Oh man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.